Today is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. And I'm going to read remarks at Amherst College, October 26, 1963, by John F. Kennedy. Our national strength matters, but the spirit which informs and controls our strength matters just as much. This was special significance of Robert Frost. He brought an unsparing instinct for reality to bear on the platitudes and pieties of society. His sense of the human tragedy fortified him against self-deception and easy consolation. I have been, he wrote, one acquainted with the night, and because he knew the midnight as well as the high noon, because he understood the ordeal as well as the triumph of the human spirit, he gave his age strength with which to overcome despair. At bottom he held a deep faith in the spirit of man, and it is hardly an accident that Robert Frost coupled poetry and power, for he saw poetry as means of saving power from itself. When power leads men towards ignorance, poetry reminds him of his limitation. When power narrows the areas of man's concern, poetry reminds him of his richness and diversity of his existence. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses, for art establishes the basic human truth, which must serve as a touchstone of our judgment. The artist, however faithful to his personal vision of reality, becomes the last champion of the individual mind and sensibility against an intrusive society and an officious state. The great artist is thus a solitary figure. He has, as Frost said, a lover's quarrel with the world. In pursuing his perception of reality, he must often sail against the currents of his time. This is not a popular role. If Robert Frost has much honored in his lifetime, it was because a good many preferred to ignore his darker truths. Yet in retrospect, we see how the artist's fidelity has strengthened the fiber of our national life. If sometimes our great artists have been the most critical of our society, it is because their sensitivity and their concern for justice, which must motivate any true artist, makes them aware that our nation falls short of its highest potential. I see little of more importance to the future of our country and our civilization than the full recognition of the place of the artist. If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision wherever it takes him. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda. It is a form of truth, and as Mr. McLeish once remarked of poets, there is nothing worse for our trade than to be in style. In free society, art is not a weapon, and it does not belong to the spheres of polemic and ideology. Artists are not engineers of the soul. It may be different elsewhere, but democratic society, in it, the highest duty of the writer, the composer, the artist, is to remain true to himself and let the chips fall where they may. In serving his vision of the truth, the artist best serves his nation, and the nation which disdains the mission of art invites the fate of Robert Frost's hired man. the fate of having nothing to look backward to with pride and nothing to look forward to with hope. I look forward to a great future for America, a future in which our country will match its military strength with our moral restraint, its wealth with our wisdom, its power with our purpose. I look forward to an America which will not be afraid of grace and beauty, which will protect the beauty of our natural environment, which will preserve the great old American houses and squares and parks of our national past, and which will build handsome and balanced cities for our future. I look forward to an America which will reward achievement in the arts as we reward achievement in business or statecraft. I look forward to an America which steadily raises the standards of artistic accomplishment and which will steadily enlarge cultural opportunities for all of our citizens. And I look forward to America which commands respect throughout the world, not only for its strength, but for its civilization as well. And I look forward to a world which will be safe not only for democracy and diversity, but also for personal distinction. Robert Frost was often skeptical about projects for human improvement, yet I do think he would disdain this hope, as he wrote during the uncertain days of Second War. Take human nature altogether since time began, and it must be a little more in favor of man. Say a fraction of 1% at very least, or our hold on this planet wouldn't have so increased. Because of Mr. Frost's life and work, because of the life and work of this college, our hold on this planet has increased.